Good morning, everyone. After the wellness session we just had, I hope you're fully charged and ready to start the second part of the digital transformation stream. And now I'm honored to welcome today a digital guru and non-traditional thinker, current media director CEE and CIS at Boehringer Ingelheim, and professional with experience in top companies, including OMD, Unilever, Sony, Henkel. Please welcome on stage Aleksander Smigielski.
Stunning welcome. Good morning. Are you energized after yesterday? You're very calm after the yoga session, I understand it. So, my name is Aleksander Smigielski. I'm with the pharma industry for almost a year. Actually, next week is going to be my anniversary. Beforehand, I was with packaged goods, Unilever, for 7 years. Both jobs, media director, all brands, all types of media. And beforehand, I was with a media agency called OMD for another 7 years. And when I joined the industry, we were still placing orders by sending a fax. 15 years from then, I have 15 minutes for you to share with you the advertiser's perspective on digital. Digital in CE actually, and it's very important because we all are part of the global, of the world, of the globe, and in the big international companies that advertise in digital, the understanding of CE is not on a very high level. So anytime we talk about digital in CE, it's very important to make sure that your counterparts understand that CE is a massive complexity with little scale. I took 9 countries all the way down from Estonia down to Bulgaria, and those countries have 100 million population. Looks impressive until you realize that Philippines alone have 100 million population. I look at it again, and it's actually more than 9 languages, because Russian is a very important language in Latvia. So it's 9 countries with 10 languages, 6 currencies, 3 religions, and $1.8 billion GDP. Also a very impressive number, until you realize that Canada alone, with 35 million population, has the same GDP. So it's 10 million population per language, and $180 million per country on average. It's not much. So it's little scale, very complex market. So anytime we discuss about launching something or making something here, on the one hand, we're cheap, the labor cost is cheap, but the scale is so little that developing something from scratch for a country of a size of Estonia, which is 1.3 million, probably equal to population or Sofia or less, and a very difficult language, it's a challenge. So how to be successful in that environment? First of all, you need to prepare yourself to set out to the digital journey. And it is absolutely critical that no matter if you're an advertiser or an agency that supports the advertiser, one must understand what digital assets are already there to be taken. Because, as I said before, it's very expensive in terms of price per unit, price per capita, to develop something from scratch. We must understand how many digital assets, what can we bring in and just translate. Then, I strongly recommend that you talk to someone who has a clue, be it a digital agency, be it an external consultant, someone who will agree with you or help you understand what you actually need. And then you match what you need with what you can have globally, and you understand how big is the gap. If the gap is too big, maybe you're not ready, maybe you shouldn't do it, and that's why many advertisers, traditional advertisers, TV advertisers, aren't there in the digital space, simply because of that equation. When you decide the gap is small enough to be able for you to be able to get online, first thing, you need to you need to check then is that your website is contemporary. It must not be a site that was finalized 5 years ago and not changed since. It has to be a site that has a relevant content and that is relevant for the current environment. I believe yesterday Google said change the rules of searching, and they announced that if your site isn't mobilely searchable, it's not searchable at all. It's a massive change. You have to make sure that your site is one of those searchable ones. Then understand how you are going to get your message out to your consumers. And this will not happen because you have a nice content. This will happen only if you are prepared to pay for it. And you may recall Old Spice with Mustafa, I'm on a horse. It's a very successful viral campaign, millions of views, but it started from paid search, it was paid per view. They paid a lot of money in order to give it a critical mass, and then it started. The same with Dove. When the FBI agent was drawing the portraits with his pencil. It was the same. In CEE, Unilever bought 2 million views to get it started. So be prepared to pay, and then the message can be delivered, and then people can share it. Of course, you get the message out to your consumers, but when you have a site, you want to invite people to your site. You also have to understand the ways of inviting people to your site and really ensuring that you respect them by giving them relevant content and a solution to their problems. And then last but not least, track everything, but be smart about it. I'll get back to it later. Of course, when you go to talk to an advertiser, you need to understand that the advertiser would face barriers, would be limited in his actionability, and those barriers that we identified back in my old job, but I think it's relevant for most of the companies now. First of all, the more you explain how it works, the counterpart is not sure it works. Why? It's just like that. Just take it for granted. They are never sure it works. How do you deal with that? You have to have your personal credibility to ensure that it will work with me. It will work when I do it. It's not going to be too much or too big or too complex. Second point, too time consuming. Organizations nowadays in our geographies are very lean. It means brand managers have a lot of work, and media is not supposed to take too much of their time. It's very easy to buy 600 GRPs on TV. You just send one email and then it happens. Of course, the agencies and the media vendors are more busy with that, but from a marketing point of view, from a marketeer point of view, it's just one thing, one email, one approval, off you go. With digital, it's typically more than that. It's a daily job, daily analysis, being out of the comfort zone. Sometimes people simply have no time for it. And when they have no time, they'll find a million reasons not to do it. But that's the biggest one, actually. Then too risky. No one was ever fired for launching a campaign with 600 GRPs on TV, and then if the sales don't come, I have a bulletproof reason why it's not my fault. Since the budgets are flexible, if you want to do something very fancy and sophisticated in a digital space, you probably have to cut your TV. And then when something goes wrong, people may lose their jobs. So they're risking their careers. You have to also understand that this is a big thing. So that's why risk aversion and being really on the safe side is very important for the advertisers. And then fourth point, many brands in our geographies are still nascent, which means their number one priority is to build awareness. And digital in our region is not going to build awareness as effectively as television, because people watch television like hell, and there's little fragmentation still. So television would beat digital in that area. So unless your brand is ready for advocacy or something that digital can deliver more effectively, sometimes you will not get understanding, and you'll not get the brand online because of that reason. Then a few observations to share after having worked with 2 international companies and seeing many situations. When we do something with the agencies together, we should definitely be searchable. As I said before, if you're not on, I mean, Google is a monopolist. They set the rules, and you have to obey. If you don't follow Google's rules, you're not searchable. And if you're not searchable, it doesn't make sense to be online. Your site has to be on a top page of Google search. If you pay the digital agency to optimize it, you can be very high organically. If you don't do it, you pay Google, and they place you there. But you have to be there. You have to be searchable, so your site must not be written in Flash. It has to be mobile friendly. If it's not there, forget it. Then Wayne Gretzky. Actually, he's Canadian, I think. Funny because I'm Polish, and Gretzky in Polish means he's Greek. So it's quite confusing, but arguably he's the best hockey player ever. And he said, a good hockey player goes to where the puck plays to where the puck is. A great hockey player plays to where the puck is going to be. So we also, when talking about digital, we struggle to be on the game, not behind the game, but always when you talk about digital, when one speaks about digital, be prepared to ask where the puck is going to be. Where is the digital business, where is the digital consumer going to be in a year or 2? Because we want to be where the puck is going to be. At least we should try. And that means we have to move. There's a very nice trap of over-analyzing things. The more questions we ask, the more answers we get, and the more confused we are. Sometimes we can never analyze ourselves to success. At some point, we have to make the bold decision and take the leap of faith and go and start doing something. And big multinational organizations are very good at slowing every process down to a full stop. Our role as people on the ground, together with the agency and key thinkers, is to push things forward and learn as we go. Last week I was on a Boehringer Ingelheim's global conference in Istanbul, and we had this very interesting game. We were given instructions. It was basically pass the ball 3 times and score a basket, and we were given 10 minutes to develop the best strategy to score as many baskets as possible. The teams that spoke for 10 minutes and never tried doing it didn't get a good score. Teams that were passing the ball for 10 minutes and improving on the go had a significantly better result. So one of the outcomes and one of the lessons from that exercise is don't sit still in a conference room and wait for data and before you do anything. Start doing things and then improve as you go. Give yourself permission to fail here or there, but learn by doing. Then keep it simple and measure right KPIs. It's very interesting looking at this print an ad that in order for me to be with you here, I had to print a page, and then I exchanged that printed page into another printed page. And as I was traveling quite intensively, it was quite difficult for me to get it printed. So we have to keep it simple. Keep it simple for the consumer, and we are immersed in our brands and the discussions. We shouldn't think that the consumer is. They are looking for solutions to their problems, not the brands. And anything we offer to them, we should really make sure it's easy. Otherwise, it's not done. And we should measure the right KPIs. I'll get back to it very soon. So the last slide, the commandments, not 10, a little bit fewer, and a recap. We have to move fast, or just move, and play to the puck, or better, where the puck we believe is going to be. We should keep it simple for the consumer, simple for us. Don't believe that the consumer will take the effort to print something, register somewhere, and then do 5 things to achieve what we hope he will do. and be searchable. Be visible, be out there when the consumer is potentially interested to interacting with our brand. But by being simple and delivering the right content and right message at the right time, we respect consumers and add value to their lives. The consumers expect that. In pharma, they are not going to talk about constipation treatment, although they suffer from it. They would hide it. They would not be willing to ask in a pharmacy for it. So we should be there really to help them. And the insight our company has promoting this solution is a picture of someone on a toilet searching desperately on their mobile for a solution. And this is the consumer insight. This is how close to the consumer we get, and this is our job to find a solution, bring the solution, and add value to people's lives. Then we should measure what makes sense to be measured. It's very important, because in digital we can measure millions of things. We can measure everything. It's very unique. In Bulgaria, for instance, outdoor is not measured at all. So we would love to have some measures for out of home. But in digital, we would love to have fewer measures, because when my boss calls me in January and asks me, Alex, how would I know you're successful in digital? And I give him 10 KPIs. He says, fine, go for it. Then he calls me in December and asks, so are you successful or not? And I would tell him, I'm excelling in 3 KPIs. 4, not sure if I deliver or not. 3, I'm definitely not delivering. So he would ask me, so are you successful or not? Are you getting your bonus or not? So better choose one KPI that encapsulates all you want to deliver. It's hard, it's very hard, but it's possible. And then you name it a killer KPI. And with this killer KPI, which is a major KPI, and maybe maximum one minor KPI, which should be aligned, you can know at every point whether you're successful or not, and you measure the right thing, and then if you're successful, it means you're going in the right direction. And then the last point is to do good. Do some charity. Do something which is valid for the society, for the communities. Something that really can improve the lives of consumers, but not being related with the profit margin, top line, bottom line, etc. And don't believe that the consumer would appreciate it and love you more and buy more stuff, because then it's about money again. Do it for yourself, because then you'll have a purpose. You'll have a reason that your work is worth something beyond just the money and return on investment, and you'll have more confidence in what you're doing. And this is what I wish you the best luck in. Thank you very much.